Not like there was a one-move win for black, but it was not good. Whatever it was. This was not a good opening for me. You just can't play these endings with the king on d2 unless you are really sure about the position. And I was not. Okay, I go after his a-pawn now. And I can't actually take it at the moment, but I can take it in the future. So that's where we're at. b3. Yeah, what's up with b3? I just pick it off with check, no? I think he missed that, but he's still holding, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I don't think I can win with with pawn against pawn. This is a draw. Okay, guys. So I've got to pay closer attention in the opening. We got challenges. Now, I owe a game to... Jedi challenged me to... I owe a game to Ultimate Champion. Alright, we're going to play something different. I've been playing a lot of Knight f3 and c4, getting a little bored with it. I was mentioning this in my last stream on Friday. So let's mix it up a little bit. Play some e4. I play everything with white. We just haven't really been in an e4 kind of mood lately. Bishop d1, bishop a4 is better, according to Wilhelmina. Cheveningen, see you later. Bishop a4. 15-15. This is a little long, Ultimate Champion. I'm going to play quick on my end because the time control is a little too long. If you guys challenge me to 15-minute... I'm not sure Ultimate Champion is in the stream. If you guys challenge me to anything as high as 15, let's try to make it with the minimum increment. Because the games get really long. I'm just going to play this like it was 5 minutes. 5 seconds, so as you know, not to like spend half an hour on this game. So okay, mainline Lopez, and the Lopez, like a lot of things, it seems hard for white to get any advantage. Now he played d6. The theoretical move is takes and d4, no? In this position, delayed exchange variation. But I don't have to do that, you know. I don't really want to, honestly. But I think theoretically bishop takes c6 and d4 is considered pretty good. Z-chess. What is the ladder? He's referring to what Mikloping was talking about. What do you think about reverse Grunfeld Naka play today? Didn't see it. Reverse Grunfeld is like just always good, isn't it? I'll have to check it out. But, you know, the Grunfeld is good enough already. But when you make a reverse Grunfeld, usually good. It's like the reverse Banco. These dynamic defenses are really good when you get an extra tempo. In general, b5, bishop b3. I could play bishop c2 here, but this is book. Bishop b3. But bishop c2 is interesting as well. You know, he can play the Chigorian variation with knight a5, which is having something of a renaissance lately. This is not what I was really in the mood for. Ultimate Champion. Okay, it's a closed Lopez. Black is thinking it's a main line now. h3. You know, to stop bishop g4. If you play d4, that's another line. d4, bishop g4 is supposed to be... It's playable for white, but it's for a long many years. It's been considered basically okay for black. You can play like d4, bishop g4, bishop e3 for white. Is an interesting line. This is going into Chigorian. And now I think if our friend goes c5 here, I'm going to play like old school. What did I see a game recently? Oh, I was looking at Mickey Adams games again. Guys, check out my YouTube channel. I got a new video of an old Mickey Adams game that I like a lot. You guys should check it out. So, but this is the older plan for white. And if you want to study like classical games from this past century, you should check out Smyslov playing the white side of the Lopez. Smyslov was a fantastic positional player, and he would kind of emphasize the value of white trying to play for the control of d5. It's a little bit like a Sicilian defense, where the d5 square is so important for both sides. Wilhelmina Karma asks me if I accept casual challenges. We will accept casual challenges from somebody in the stream. If you're watching the stream, and I'm sure you're in the stream, yeah, I'll definitely accept casual challenge. In general, I like to play the rated games because I think the players take them more seriously. But I definitely accept from anybody who's watching the stream. Bishop b7 here. So this is a good move fighting for control of d5 we were talking about. And now the question is knight d2. Knight d2, knight f1, and then like knight e3 to try to fight for the d5 square. Also bishop g5, and we're again trying to like knock out the knight on f6. Try to focus on the d5 square, and sometimes b4 as well can be an idea, like a3 and b4. Maybe we can chase the knight away from a5 and get control of the b3 square and get the bishop back to b3. The problem is if I play knight d2, I think knight d2 is fine here. He's not really ready to play. He's not ready to play d5. You know, I don't think he can make d5. So, as long as I'm assured that black isn't going to play d5, I, you know, would prefer like get a little more development. If I play bishop g5, black needs to be heads up. Like, probably play a move that offers to trade the dark squared bishops. Something like knight to h5 if that's possible. So if you're black and white plays bishop g5, he's trying to get control of the d5 square. You need to respond by offering to trade your bad bishop on e7. You temporarily give up the d5 square, get his bishop. Don't let him trade bishop for knight on f6. Unless you are really confident that white, you know, the control of the d5 square won't like fall like permanently into white's hands, or you don't have some other kind of compensation. So Shansha, thanks for the game. You missed bishop g4 in the middle game and bishop e6 in the end game. Oh, yeah, the end game, that was maybe drawn, but I'm not sure. But anyway, bishop g4 looks like it was good for you. I think your exchange sack was really good. Maybe you were still winning after that. I think that, you know, you played pretty well until the end. I'm not even sure like which move was the final mistake, but I thought the exchange sack on e7 was good. Maybe you had better somewhere. So now we're looking for the d5 square. We're playing knight f1. If we play knight f1, however, what about this guy? Is he going to get in d5? It looks a little dodgy. It looks like he's going to get in d5, doesn't it? I'm a little concerned about that, and there's not really a whole lot we can do. If I play knight f1, he plays d5, we take. He takes with the queen. Okay, we do some kind of like white square play, I guess, with the pieces. But maybe this is going to like show us that we should have played bishop g5 earlier. But there are positions where you can allow d5. There's like the Worrell variation where white plays queen e2. Sometimes he just lets black play like d5, d4. It's not like the end of the world if black plays d5. We don't have to surrender the center on d5. We also can play like Gioco Pianissimo. Whoops, not moving knight d2. In the gioco pianissimo, where white plays the gioco piano with d3, there's a lot of positions where white exchanges on d5 and then has active play with the pieces on the white squares. On my YouTube channel, I did the game. I analyzed the game Adams versus Bologan from 1998, but a kind of backstory to that. If you guys go and check out like a chess database, you want to see some games that are interesting for white, e4 games interesting for white. I was looking at the whole like lifetime score between those guys, and well, Adams never lost in like 9 games against Bologan, but this is a bad move by black. I think he's neglecting the control of g5 here. I don't mean it's not. It's actually a bad move for other reasons. Probably like the control of the white squares. So anyway, I was just gonna tell you guys about Adams played black against Bologan a couple games in Joko Pianos, and he won with black. Really nice games. So now it looks like the white squares are pretty well under white's control here. So that's got to be beneficial for us. We'll put the bishop back on the diagonal. However, I have to watch out for knight d5. Knight c3 is also possible. I mean, I'm not saying that black is necessarily lost or anything here. It just seems like we've got good play. b5, b4, there's something to be said for it. He gets some space. But it reminded me of those games where Bologan was white in Joko Pianos. He got crushed in the first few games they played. Although Adams is a stronger player. You know, he's like good 50 rating points higher. So 15-15 is too long, Bakuz. I know, dude, but too long. Yeah, I've been playing like it's 5 minutes, so I've only used like a couple minutes. I said when we started the game I was gonna play like it's a 5-minute game, so it'll kind of balance out to being like a 10-minute game because I'm not gonna use all my time. But I don't want to play only Blitz. You know, it's not a play the master. It kind of gets like that sometimes. But I'm trying to like focus more on sort of teaching and than just playing as many people as I can. That's not really my main focus. So bishop b3, and here d5, knight takes d5, knight d5, c3's hanging. I have to be careful about bishop d2 probably. But, you know, does black want to, having done like b5, b4, does he want to create like this structure? I would like black's position better if he had, say, like pawns back on the queen side on like a6, b7, c7, and he played d5. There's a lot of weaknesses after this. bc, d5, ed, bishop d2. Black has to watch the e5 pawn, the c5 pawn long term. Yes, he has a little bit of space, but... And you want to play f6 to defend your e-pawn with the bishop on b3? Not really. So white's threatening to like get a complete stranglehold on the position with... Yeah, but in general, Bakuz is right. I mean, we don't want to play like 15-15. I probably shouldn't have accepted this, but I'm going to just kind of like compensate by moving fast on my end. Yeah, like 10 minutes, 5-second increment, 5 minutes, 5-second increment, or 2-second increment. Anything between 5 and 10 with any kind of increments is cool. So, Ultimate Champion, I don't know if you're in the stream or not. So now we have very good control. This is all we need, basically. And I don't even need to play Bishop G5 anymore to get like rock-solid control of D5. And basically what'll happen is if black doesn't have any kind of counterplay, you know, I mean this diagonal here, knight d8 is interesting. He's fighting for d5 again. So knight g4 for me is, he has no control over e5 now. Knight g4 I can't play, I drop a pawn in that line. So knight d8 is a pretty subtle move.